Hi, great weekend, decent game. Glad that Seattle won, and things are picking up, I think. So let's take a look and see what's causing all this. Mortgage market movers this week. People have come out and said that we might get some worse than expected jobs numbers this week. No one's ever, foamed the runway for a potential issue upon landing like this, like they're doing right now. I think what that means is we're going to have a very unfortunate, disappointing negative jobs report this week, which will be the opposite for me. It'll be good for mortgage rates. Okay. Also, the Consumer Price Index, or CPI, will be coming out later this week. We'll see how that looks. But something called, third point here, trueflation. It's literally called trueflation on social media, is gaining notoriety. It uses AI. It's real time. It tells you what they think the inflation number is today. Every day they do that across 15 million data points, as opposed to just 80,000, which is the traditional method of counting the consumer price index and the PCE report. Looking back 12 months, not using much information, kind of like when we used to go outside and pick up a newspaper to see what the stock market is. And today we have AI day traders, kind of really doing things exponentially uh, faster. Right now, bottom point here, the Bureau of Labor and Statistics, which does that old school calculation, thinks that inflation is at 2.7% for the past, year over year as of this month. But the Trueflation Index is reading at 0.68%, way below where the Fed is mandated to hold inflation. One thing about this is last week, PepsiCo reduced the price of all of their snack foods, Lay's potato chips and all that, by 15%. So this is actual more of a deflationary environment, and I'm hopeful that there can at least be a compromise between the old school method of calculation and this new AI-based calculation, because it just seems to be that we are in a deflationary environment, which means that we should be seeing more rate reductions by the Federal Reserve. Speaking of rates, try to make this more readable this week. Well, the 30-year fixed improved just a little bit. We're back to about 5.99 with no discount, and I think that's going to improve further because you remember Fannie Mae and Freddie Mac were going to do a $200 billion purchase of mortgage-backed securities. There's also talk that Fannie Mae and Freddie Mac are going to reduce some of their internal fees that are built into these rates. So I think the goal that is stated by the housing chair, Bill Pulte, along with the administration, is they want to reduce the 30-year fixed by a half point uh, without having the Fed do anything by other methods and measures. And so that's a good thing. I hope they pull it off. The government loans in the middle here, FHA, VA, USDA, they're all bouncing around in the middle fives right now. I'll talk about FHA in just a moment. Something great is happening there. And there's 10-year fixed arm along the bottom. Last month, it was costing two discount, 2% of the loan amount added to closing costs in order to get 5.25% for the first 10 years of this adjustable rate loan. Last week, it was costing 1.5%. As of right now, Monday afternoon, it's costing 1.25%. So that thing is improving very much. We get bad jobs data. The Federal Reserve has to act and lowers interest rates, their interest rate by 0.25%. Suddenly, it's only going to cost 1% in discount to get it at 5.25, or you can buy it into the fours. Hopefully, that's what I really want to see. I want to start bringing you fours for everything. I'm sure you do too. But let's talk about fours and the FHA loan right now. I'm going to get out of the way here. Prosperity is having an FHA rate rollback special, no cost, 1% reduction in the interest rate for the first year of the loan. For example, if the FHA qualified rate is 5.99%, the first year it's going to be 4.99%. And this is no cost to the buyer or seller. So I got some APRs up there. You could potentially see it like up in my top right corner here. It could be you're at 5.49 over the full course of the loan. The first year you're at 4.49%. So that's attractive because there's no cost to it. It doesn't require a seller concession or extra money from the buyer or anything. We're just doing that for a couple of weeks to kind of try to get some business built up, and hopefully we can get some going there. Let me know. I can work up specific uh, workouts for you for your clients here. And just to remind you here, going back at the top, we have a doctor loan now. It is kind of like a VA loan in that it's as little as a zero down payment, loan amounts up to $2 million, student loan leniency in the way we place or keep them out of the debt to income ratio, and you can close with a contract to hire before actually starting work. There's a lot more guidelines to this, a lot more good. Uh, RNs, registered nurses, don't qualify for it. Anesthesiologists do. I've got a list of who can and who can't. Eye doctors, people like that. So let me know what you might have, and I'm going to get some graphics to you so you can blast those out too and hopefully build some business. Rates are a lot better than you think. Rates are better than what we're seeing, even where they say the mortgage rate is blah, blah, blah. There's actually a lot better rates than that right now. Let me work some stuff up for you without a credit check, and I will see you in Portland.